I seek solitude and rest. Take the stress off my chest. Words are empty when majestic is everywhere.
Well, it's the morning of our second day, and it was cold and windy last night, just like it's cold and windy right now. Just going through the morning routine. Sun isn't up yet, it's coming up, but I think I'll probably get back in my sleeping bag until it does come up. Now our tents are pretty well camouflaged there in the rocks. It's straight ahead. It worked out pretty well last night. I was comfortable for the most part. I think Roger may have had some problems with his tent blowing around that he had to fix in the middle of the night, but yeah, otherwise it was a good night. The terrain here, and I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's not really the soil. It's just you know, this is basically just all rocks and filled in soil, I guess. Makes it really hard to dig a cat hole. But yeah, I got it done, and I'm gonna get back in my sleeping bag. This rocky, pebbly surface. Wow, what a really beautiful morning. As soon as that sun came up. Nothing I like more than sitting out in the sun in a cold Sierra morning. So this should be nice. And this is where I stuck my bear canister last night. As you can see, again, I don't like to have it too far away from camp. I just want to make sure it's someplace where it's not going to roll into the water. Breakfast today is going to be Quaker 100% natural. I think they call it Quaker granola these days. And a hard-boiled egg. As you can see, I've got a plethora of gels. That's mostly for when we're hiking. So we're doing a lot of day hikes, and so I just bring those along for easy meals. Let's see what else I got in here. I got, well, you can't really see. I've got Pop-Tarts, of course. Actually, everything is sort of neatly situated, so I don't want to really disturb it. But I've got Pop-Tarts. I've got some Velveeta. I've got my sandwich. I'll take that out. This will be lunch. This will be lunch today. And let's see. I will take out a paleo bar, so I can carry that with me. Again, these paleo bars are pretty cool. They're 170 calories and they're super tiny. I guess I have to pull everything out because I need my I need my cup to have my granola, and it's at the bottom there. So I got these Velveetas. These are really good. They're not super high in calories. I didn't bring any prunes this time around, and I'm kind of regretting that. And you can see I've got all these paleo bars stuffed in my mug. So I've got to pull all those out, have breakfast, put them all back in. So today, if all goes well, we're gonna climb up into there and fish a series of lakes back there. The eggs were meant to be breakfast yesterday, but we ended up going to Vaughn's. I went to Starbucks and got a breakfast sandwich, so decided I'd bring them along. So the sun's up, but it hasn't gotten any warmer. We're going to be climbing about 600 feet higher than where we are now. I'm betting that's going to be in somewhat of a shady canyon, so it's going to be a cold day. I'm not bringing my waders. I may regret that, but my waders have holes in them, and with as cold as it is, I don't want to be walking around in wet clothes. So hopefully I can get into fish without having to wade. That's what we're going to be going up. Okay, so we're going to try to follow this line going that way, and then make one cut that way, and then we're up, hopefully. So this lake has Goldens and Brook trout, but we're going for Goldens today. And we seem to have found the route that everybody else has found for the most part. I'm seeing trekking pole marks in the soil and a few footprints. Pop around the corner, only to find a trail duck. Okay, we've made it to the first lake. There are 3 or 4 lakes further up that ridge. Wasn't so bad. It looks daunting, but it took about 30 minutes once we decided on our route. The wind isn't so bad up here, and it's starting to heat up a little bit, which is nice. So this, I guess, is lake number 1. Okay, we want to go to the next lake, which is right up there. There's a trail right here. It seems to go this way and then back. But I think we're better off going this way, presuming that there's not a drop right here, and then staying high and then coming over. Looks like we've got some boulder hopping. Looks like there might be a trail right here. Yep, looks like there's a trail right there. And we could also just climb across and go up that way too. And we're gonna eventually be up there. Okay, this is lake 2, and I've got to stop and take a gel. So it's taken us an hour and 20 minutes to get here, and just eating my gel. I take one every 75 minutes. I think our destination lake is right over here. It looks like there should be a lake over here by the snow patch, but looking at the map, I think it's right there at that plateau. So it shouldn't be too long now. All these lakes are supposed to have golden trout. We're just gonna hit the far lake first and then, fish our way back to camp. Now you might be wondering, if the lake is right there, why bother taking a gel? It's probably only another 30-minute hike up there. And I've just found that even if it's at the end of my workout, if my workout ends right around when I'm supposed to be taking the gel, I feel better later on having taken the gel than if I hadn't taken the gel. Typically if I finish like a long run or a hike and it's right when I should have taken the gel and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be eating in 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, and I skip it, then right when it comes time to have dinner or whatever it was, I just feel like crap because I didn't eat. So just stay on the on the regimen, and I tend to feel better. Especially we're going to be here 8 days. I've got plenty of food. We're going to be doing a lot of day hikes. I want to stay fueled up. I don't want to be depleted. You know, if I'm backpacking to a lake and basically staying at that lake, you know, I can afford to let myself get run down a little bit, but not on this trip. There's a couple small fish. Lake number 3. So that means we're almost there. I was kind of hoping we'd be there, but got another moraine to cross. Finally have sight of the last lake. Well, we're at the lake, and I lost one of my gloves. I took it off to pull my GoPro out of my pocket, and I had it in my hand, and I guess I didn't have it in my hand tightly enough, and I dropped it somewhere. I went back and looked for it, but I mean, I don't remember exactly which route I took to get here. And with the wind blowing as bad as it is, you know, it could blow right into a little crevice and I would never see it. But I spent about 15 minutes looking for it, and with no luck. Fortunately, I've got two other pair of gloves. I've got one heavy duty set, which I guess I'll be wearing from now on. And then I've got one that I fish in, so not the end of the world, but yeah, really need these gloves out here. Well, the unthinkable has happened. I've left my fishing kit in my tent. So, hiked all the way up here, and I have nothing to fish with. I've got my rod, I don't have my reels, I don't have my flies. I methodically packed my tent this morning, and I had my kit in my hand. I don't know how I could have left it. So I guess I'm going to be filming Roger for the rest of the day. On the plus side, I did pack my extra gloves because I'm really paranoid about getting cold up here. So, trying to find the path of least resistance. Head on over to Roger. He's made a couple casts, but I guess he's not seeing fish. Fortunately, Roger always fishes 2 rods, so he's given me one of the rods. Actually, I think he's got 3 rods on him. I think he's got a spinning rod with him today. He says he's seen one 8-inch fish that was really deep. He's hooked me up with a Phillipson combo rod. It looks like it's probably a 7-foot. Let's see what it is. I think it's probably a 7-foot rod. Let's see. Doesn't say. Phillipson 3M Swamp Fox. Looks like a 7-foot rod to me. It's got a Stillwater nymph on it. Stillwater nymphs. It's got one of Denny Rickard's Stillwater nymphs. One actually tied by him. So that means it's got a little weight to it. I'll be able to get down a little bit. What's it got on it? It's the reel. It's got a Ross reel. And I don't see what line weight it says. It says Demo 2, but this can't be a 2 weight. Well, whatever it is, I'm going to fish it. So at least I can say that I've fished this lake. Okay, so we're going to make this work. Roger said that this is a 5 weight, and I just so happen to have 2 5 weights with me. So I'm going to break out my Sage LL. The LL, I've got 2 5 weights with me. One is an 8-foot cane rod, and the other is the Sage LL. Given the fact that it's windy and I'm fishing with a unfamiliar line, I think the LL will probably be the better bet. So I'm just going to take the LL out. I'll put the Phillipson in my rod case, and I'll string up. I always keep extra line in my backpack, so I have some 3X and 5X tippet. Roger's using the 3X leader, so that's perfect. He's given me a handful of flies, So we should be able to make this work. So I didn't have anything to keep the flies in, but I had an almost empty salt stick package. So I ate the salt stick tablets, rinsed out the package, and I've got my flies in here. Don't know if that's going to make them taste like, what is this, green apple? Yeah, green apple electrolytes, and how that's going to affect the fishing, but we'll see. So I think what I'm going to do, Roger gave me a couple of the caddis. Caddis are pretty heavily weighted, so yeah, it feels like it's pretty heavily weighted. I'm going to go with a caddis, and then I think I'm going to put on a stillwater nymph right behind it. So even without my fishing gear, since I've always got two knives on me, I'm okay cutting leader. So that's the stillwater nymph. This one looks like it's got a flashback on it.
I have a, what'd you call it? Oh, you have one.
What's that?
Multi-tool?
Yeah, I do. And that's the scud. So I've got the scud on first because I think the scud's going to be heavier than the stillwater nymph. And I also have a multi-tool, so I could have used that. So Roger fished quickly through here. I'm going to go check it out real quick. So I don't have my fishing gloves. I've got two gloves here. Thin one, I'm okay getting wet. Thick one, I'm not. So keep the thick one dry, fish with the other one on, should be okay. That is a fish. Shoot. And he's going away from me, and I'm gonna, crap. Okay, so that was a fish, and I am not anywhere near ready for it. Trying to figure out the glove situation, and the drag on this reel is super tight. Okay, but he's in here somewhere. You know what? Maybe I'll just fish without my gloves. This feels a little bizarre. Oh, did he just turn for my flies? Yeah, he did. And he didn't take it. There we go. That, oh, and I'm still screwing around with my stuff here. Yeah, okay, well, that was nice to have hooked a fish at least. I don't know if I got it on camera because I'm just screwing around. Okay. Okay, there's a fish, and okay, he wasn't on it. I gotta turn down the drag on this thing. Okay. Okay, they're fairly deep. And around these rocks, I can see two. Okay, I got a few fish cruising in here, and they're deepish. So let me cast out, and I'll cut down to 25. Okay, that was 30. Oh, got him. I almost missed that fish. Small golden. And he's on the stillwater nymph. Okay. I'm in a pretty awkward position here. That's better. Okay. Okay. Small little golden. And I got another one on. About the same size. Well, maybe a little bigger. Definitely brighter. Okay, so I gotta take this glove off. Squat down. Oh yeah, that's a nicer fish. It's a better representation of the golden trout. Chill, little guy. Oh, he's off. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, he went for both of them, and now he's off. Okay, well, cool deal. That was definitely that nicer fish that I saw cruising right down in here. It looks like he took both flies without me actually realizing it. And he took the scud, which is good to see. Okay, so I've come out on this point and I'm not seeing any cruising fish. I can see down to about 45, 50 seconds. So that's what I counted down to on those last fish. I mean, those fish I could actually see. I could see them cruising. And I could tell that they were deep. So I'm just gonna make some prospecting casts, go out, go down 45 seconds. Let's see, I'll throw it catty corner to the wind, so the wind will bring it to me. Okay, I'll start my countdown. Starting my retrieve. Wind didn't carry it as much as I thought it would. This is really a better place for a sinking line, which is what Roger's got. Because I mean, this is deep. You know, the only thing I can hope for here is that maybe there's fish cruising in among those rocks, and if I cast horizontal to the rocks in the deep water, maybe I can scare a fish up. Getting some knots. There we go. I don't know how far down I can go with this rod, but it's a weight forward line, so that means I'm going to run out of belly pretty soon. I think that's a good cast. I'll keep that there. I'll do 45 seconds. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Start my retrieve. Okay, I'll make a few more casts and then head down and get lunch. I think I'm just gonna walk the bank down to my pack and grab my bag and go in the opposite direction to what Roger's going. We talked about that, both of us going in separate directions, so we could fish the lake quicker. Roger's way over there. I think I'm gonna sit and eat, but that does not look good at all. Look at all that smoke. That's crazy. Looks like Roger's got a fish on. He saw that beach and he was making a beeline for it. Looks like it's paid off. Okay, so smoke is coming in behind me. I'm gonna head up this way and fish in the opposite direction that Roger's fishing, and we'll meet on the other side. Since what I've got on is gonna work better in shallow water, I'm going to come over here and check all this shallow water, because we didn't really check it, or I don't think Roger checked much of it on his way down. Maybe he did. I don't know. I was looking for my gloves, so I don't know how much he checked and how much he didn't, but it doesn't hurt to give it another go around. You know, I think I might throw a few casts in here. The smoke's making it a little difficult to see into the water. So Roger and I brought our radios this time, and he's just confirmed he picked up a 14-inch fish on that beach and was asking me if I was gonna come on over there, and I think I'm just gonna fish my way around, and if I get over there, I get over there. I'm not gonna make a beeline over there. I'm still looking to sight fish more than I am prospect. I think I'll just drop my flies down under this rock, see if there's anything in there. It's become a lot harder for me to see how deep the flies are, you know, even though they're bright orange. Nope. Thinking there's nothing down there. Okay. So I'll just do a little prospecting. I'm gonna fish the clock real fast, maybe make 4 casts, and then move on.
Okay, no luck there. Still, the smoke's come over, but I don't smell it just yet. It's cold, and I'm thinking I probably should have worn my my Fall Raven pants, because I'm starting to shiver. So it is pretty cold out here. So I'm gonna start moving around a little bit faster, warm up a little bit. Now, I've come over to what would have been the near side of the lake, and it looks like it's wading water. There's a shelf, and then some deeper water. Doesn't look like the shelf or that deeper water is within casting range, at least in this section. I might be able to get out over there. This looks pretty interesting, this little channel here. So let's see what we got going on in here. First, throw a few shallow casts just in case there's anything right there. I don't see anything moving. Nope. Okay. I'll come out on this rock now. I don't know if that's rain or if that's ash or if it's snow. Something's starting to come down. Snow or ash. I'm not smelling. I put my mask up, but now I'm hung up. Shoot. That's what I get for not paying attention. I don't want to lose these flies, so let's see if I can come around. I was able to come around and free the flies. Jeez. Stop for a minute, please. Sure, I'm getting all sorts of knots in my leader. Okay, well, nothing happened there. The line went out, but the flies didn't. There we go. When in doubt, pick it up and lay it down. There we go. Okay, 40 seconds. Yeah, definitely. Well, it could be ash. I can't tell. That's not where I wanted to put it. That's better. And Roger is waiting. Well, Roger's back on the beach, and I think I'm about 3/4 of the way around the lake right now. I've only seen one other fish in probably the last 2 hours. It's 1:48, and I think I'm gonna bypass a lot of this bank and head over there, eat a little bit, and then work my way over to Roger again. So we're gonna call it and head back, maybe fish some of the other lakes. Roger just caught that one fish, but it was 14 inches, and that's why we're here. I got into those 2 fish and that third that I missed, and that was about it. Maybe we'll see some bigger fish or some other fish on the way down. That looks like one precarious rock. Okay, coming down to lake number 3. So, on my first cast here, I thought I snagged. I thought it was either a strike or a snag. I figured it was probably a snag. Threw another cast in, went deeper, and there was nothing to snag on. So, I'm gonna try this spot a couple more times. And did he turn for it? He didn't. There's a fish right there, if I can get my line out. Oh, crap. Yeah, that was a comedy of errors. There's a fish. See if I can interest him in a sinking fly. Survey says no. What about a moving fly? And survey also says no. Seeing some tiny fish in here. I flubbed the cast on that first one, which was probably the biggest of the 4 I've seen. Roger's already headed down the hill. Just spooked a nice fish right in here. Wonder if I dab these flies, if he'll come onto that rock. Well, that fish probably would have gone 12 inches. Although, if I didn't know better, I'd say it was a brook trout. It was really dark. Man, look how bad that smoke is. Went right over us, and looks like it just settled there in the basin. Okay, so we've just come past the second lake and we're making our way down to the first lake. We're going to follow the trail this time, maybe do a little fishing. There's the trail, and presumably we just follow it down and across. So we're down at Lake 1, and hopefully we'll just fish this a little bit as we're going across. Fish in front of me. Hopefully I can entice something a little bigger. Oh, there's another one. Up. I missed a strike. This time I got it. And that was the tiny fish. Really, really tiny golden. Tiny fish. There we go. Another fish. And this one's foul hooked. Okay, this makes sense because I felt a strike and I didn't set the hook, and then I felt another one and then I set the hook. So this makes sense. So I must have missed him when he struck the first time. And then foul hooked him, but it's a little bigger. There seem to be a bunch of small fish that are working these banks. Yeah, you can see I keep getting these strikes, but they're like skinny fish. See if I can see if I go out farther, I can get into a bigger fish. Okay, that's 15. Nope. Let's see if I go deeper. Yeah, there's one on it. Yeah, it's one of those small fish though. Let's see if I can go deeper. I'll go 45 seconds. You know what? I'll go out farther too. Okay, well, farther for 45 seconds. Lost my count, so let's just say we're on 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that should be about 45 seconds. Okay, start moseying along the banks, see what I can see. That fish looks long and skinny. Missed him, missed him. Oh, he's eager. Ah, that was not a terrible fish. I am too fast on my strikes. Ah, that's interesting. He's on it. Okay, he's not going to go again. He was on it once. Well, that did look like a little bigger fish, but I guess I'm just not being patient enough. Picked up another small golden, about 7 inches. Roger's making his way around the lake, so I'm going to catch up and see if I can maybe spot a bigger fish. Lots of rock hopping, but almost there. I took the long way, and hopefully Roger will take the easier way. If I had stayed lateral, come down on that slab, it'd be a lot easier than what I'm doing. So okay, so I'm down, and I'll tell you, I really needed all that rock hopping, you know, to get my old man dexterity back in line. I wasn't doing great when we started, but yeah, all the muscle memories come back and my balance has come back, and I'm cruising through here, so I'm pretty happy about that. Roger's still a little ways up there, so I think I'm gonna throw a few casts in. Let's see if we can get anything out of here. I'm not seeing anything, but throw a few prospecting casts while waiting for Roger. Where is he? I don't even see him. Okay, well, I'll make a few casts and then I'll look again. Okay, let that sink. There he is. 2 1 second, 3 1 second, 4 So much glare in the water, I can't even see where my fly's landing. There we go. Oh, I should have felt that a lot sooner than I did. Maybe he's foul hooked, because I felt the drag on the line, and I'm slow to set the hook on that kind of take. And then, oh, it's a double. Oh no, yeah. So he is foul hooked. Or there were 2 fish on. I don't know where that other fish came from. That's a nice brookie though. Yeah, I got to get better at striking when I feel that drag on the line. Sorry, little brookie. Don't mean to foul hook you. Just means I was slow on the uptake. But that's not bad. It's not a bad fish. If I can get a clean shot of it. Okay, Roger said he was coming over to this side of the lake. Question is where? Well, don't see him. probably behind that little bluff. There he is. So, I found Roger, and he wants to fish there, so I figured I'd come over and fish this point. And that's about where I want it. That's 15. And one of the things I noticed is the scud that I'm using, the barb isn't pinched down. And so I think that is what's leading to those heavy pulls. I'm getting a heavy pull, but it's not embedding itself in the fish. And then I'm too slow to recognize what it is. And then I end up foul hooking them with the fly on the back. It's a theory. There we go. Another rookie, I think. Another brookie, and this one on the scud. That's a nice brookie. I think the other one was nicer. And the scud doesn't have, well, there we go. Scud isn't barbless, unfortunately. Just a little bit after 5, and we're gonna head back to camp. Quite the adventure today. Fishing wasn't as good as we hoped, but still a pretty fun day. Roger's beer canister. And here's mine. Hoping to keep it out of the sun today. Back at camp, and I'm going to fill up my water jug. Got my rod, just in case I see a fish. I don't actually need to see a fish. I'm going to throw a couple casts first, and then I'll filter my water. Now this is interesting. This little lakelet is separated from the main lake. That channel goes to the main lake, but it looks like it only has water in it when, during high water. So early in the season, there's water coming in here. Maybe there are fish, and then it shuts off and the fish get stuck here. So possible that there could be some decent sized fish in here, given that it would have a smaller fish population, I would hope. Well, let's see if we can. No fish at the watering hole tonight. So I've rigged up this little system along a rock. Since the strap is broken, lay a rock on top of it. It's not sliding, so it seems to be filtering pretty well. Okay, this is all the food that I brought today that I didn't eat, and that's 2 spring energy gels, paleo bar, and the Belvita. And now it's dinner time, and I'm not hungry, so I need to force down the salami and cheese. The only thing I was hungry for earlier today, I was hungry for blueberry unfrosted Pop-Tarts when we were hiking down. And had I realized I had that Belvita bar in my pack, I probably would have eaten that because that's blueberry. But yeah, I'm not hungry at all right now. But I got to force myself to eat. I've got salami and cheese. I've got protein powder that I have to drink tonight. I just can't do it. but I will. So I was able to eat 5 slices of salami and 3 slices of cheese. It's supposed to be 6 slices of each. And I'm starting to eat the Belvita. Forcing it down. Okay, so I guess we've come to the end of day 2. Pretty cool day. We got to hike up to a pretty incredible lake. We did accomplish our goal in terms of getting into large golden trout. Roger was able to get into a 14-inch golden. And he also saved the day for me. I was able to use his gear on my rod, and fishing wasn't stellar, but it was still a blast. Tomorrow we're going to do pretty much the same thing. We're going to go up to a different lake. This time I'm not going to forget my gear. Yeah, it was cold today. It was really pretty cold. Wasn't as breezy as yesterday, and we didn't get any of that smoke. The smoke came right over us, and I guess ended up over in Mammoth and wherever else. But yeah, I barely smelled any smoke today at all. Made for a cool sky, and yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. So if you've watched to this point, thank you for that. I really appreciate it, and thank you for coming along. Sorry if I had snot running down my face the entire day, but I've had post-nasal drip since I've gotten here, and I don't have a hanky or anything proper to wipe it away with.
The hills are calling, where the lakes are my home. Leave the stress behind, find peace in my mind. With the still water flowing, lines I'm throwing. Loneliness is not here, there is life everywhere.